All right, Dust Bowl time. You know what it was like. 14th of April, 1935, the biggest dust bowl that anybody had ever seen. The biggest dust storm. We'd seen dust storms before, of every size, flavor, shape, model, description, aroma, but this was a freak-looking thing. A wall of dust 2 miles high coming down on that little oil boom town of Pampa, Texas. Looked like the Red Sea coming down on the Israel children. And those little shacks we lived in couldn't keep the dust out, so we'd huddle in there in the dark. It was so dark in there.
How dark was it, Woody?
So dark you couldn't see a nickel in your pocket. You couldn't see the shirt on your back. You couldn't see a meal on the table. You couldn't see a dad-burned thing. In fact, if you had an electric light bulb hanging down there in the kitchen like most of us did, it just looked like a cigarette a-burning. It's all the light that you get from it. So we was too scared to run, we were too scared to pray, we were more interested in breathing. So we put wet bandanas around our heads and we sat there in the dark and listened to the wind whistle and watched the dust sift in through the cracks. And folks that was up on their scriptures, the religious-minded folks, they looked at each other and nodded and said, "This is the end. This is the fellow that made the world, taking it away from us just like back in the days of old Nora. Going to wipe the slate clean." So they'd look at one another and they'd nod and say, "Brothers, sisters, friends, neighbors, so long. It's been good to know you." Now there's going to be a little sing-along part here for you. And we'll show you where it is. But we're going to do something like we did there in Pete's song. We're going to split up into choruses here. I'll show you how it goes. So this is the chorus. Here we go. So long, it's been good to know ya. So long, it's been good to know ya. So long, it's been good to know ya. This dusty old dust, it's a blowing me home. Another word, home. We're gonna get a little chorus going. Home, 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 home.
Little harmony.
And I got to be drifting